is over, but ours is run, as we have indicated here. And the Electoral Commission's ballot paper has watermark in the ballot paper. If you show it against the light, you see the water. But this is just an ordinary sheet of paper that a person used to make this dummy ballot paper and went to try to put it into the parliamentary ballot box of the Electoral Commission in Asawasi constituency. So therefore, we want to make it plain to the general public that the commission system is still very transparent and very verifiable. And it has inbuilt integrity. That was why the person was detected and then arrested. And so therefore, let us continue to have interest in the Electoral Commission's processes and have trust in them, because we are determined to ensure that the results that will be declared will be a true reflection of the decision of the people who voted. So please, yes, the person has been arrested and he's in the custody of the police, but we want to bring it to the fore that the ballot papers, the purported ballot papers, were not that of the Electoral Commission. And I've given you indication why it was not ours. I have met the Honorable Muntaka this evening at his office, and he himself has attested to the fact that the ballot papers were not that of our ballot paper. But we need to bring it to the fore so that the whole populace will know that, yes, the Electoral Commission actually intends to ensure a very free and fair election with a level playing field for each of the stakeholders who are involved. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. If you have questions, you can ask.
Chief, you talk about...
You're live on your election headquarters here on the JoyNews channel. We're live on Joy Prime Television, also on Joy 99.7 FM. For the benefit of our radio audience, the voice you just heard is Emmanuel Banobio. He is the Ashanti Region Electoral Commission boss. And in summary, he was addressing the issue that came up at the Asawase constituency sometime earlier today, where someone attempted to put in extra ballot papers into the ballot box for the parliamentary election. He says these ballot papers are not the EC certified papers. He goes through how the insignia on it, the quality of the paper is different from what the EC issued today. He says, very important to note, that he says he's spoken to the Member of Parliament for the area, the Alhaji Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, who raised questions about this earlier. And the MP has admitted that those are different ballot papers. Let's take you back to Kumasi because Mr. Banobio is answering some questions. Then we'll come back to the studio for the analysis.
Stamp 2 is also different from ours. So therefore, these are some of the measures we have put in place to ensure that we prevent fraud and nobody can cheat the system.
I want to ask, have you by any chance established the affiliation of the suspects?
It is for the security to do that. Ours is that we have put in place a system that is so transparent and so verifiable. Said that whatever anybody wants to do in terms of cheating, the system will expose that person. And that is what has happened.
The NDC says it will reject such results. What will be your response to that?
Then the NDC is supporting the cause of the Electoral Commission because we want to ensure that the right results are declared. That is why we have put all these measures in place. We are not going to counterand any act that will tilt the tide against one candidate or in favor of another candidate. We want to ensure a level playing field such that whoever the populace, the voters have voted for, is the one, the majority of the voters has voted for, is the one that we are going to declare as elected. So therefore, if there are any foreign materials found in our ballot boxes, we are going to fish them out, and we are not going to count those ballots. And Commission has been doing that since 1992. If you can remember, we had an election for a political party in Egeso. Some of these instances came. When we finished that election, we had over, the ballot papers were printed by that political party. At the end of the voting, we realized that we had over 100 ballots, more than what we actually issued. We were able to fish all of them out by the use of this validation stamp. And that is what we are going to do. So, if that is what the candidate is saying, he's welcome on board to ensure the integrity of the electoral process.
So how many ballots, fake ballots have been detected?
So far, that incident, I understand there were 5 ballot papers. There were 5 ballot papers, that is what I was told. And I had a look. He had in his possession 3, and the police also had in possession the rest. But I took this one from Honorable Muntaka, and he himself asserted to it. When I showed him the features here, yes, he knew this is not ours. But his worry was that some people were trying to corrupt the system. And I told him, and I showed him that the system that we have put in place, nobody can do such things without it being detected.
Please, early in the day, we had the NDC organize another press conference. There they had 5 presidential ballot papers, which they claim was taken from a gentleman who is also saying that there was a blue vehicle which this occupant gave to him. Has that come to your attention? Is it different from the one which occurred at Nuzobo?
That was a notice of poo. They were not ballot papers. What we are talking about were notice of poo. The police told me about that. It was a notice of poo, but not ballot papers. But during election, nobody is supposed to carry any material that indicates that a person is doing campaign. That was why he was apprehended. It was not ballot papers.
So far, the EC issued a statement earlier today confirming dismissals of electoral officers. Do we have similar incidences here in Ashanti? And what are their fates?
Election officials, we have rules and regulations for all election officials. And if you falter, you have to be dismissed. In our case, there was one incident at Kwadaso. A lady was complaining that her ballot paper was not validated. It was a serious argument. We did not take it kindly, so we made the police to apprehend the officer so that they keep her until after the elections, then we see. Because the officer was also indicating that, yes, she validated the ballot papers. Incidentally, at the end of the pool, all the ballot papers were validated. So it was a wrong accusation. It happened in Kwadaso constituency. The lady has been made to go because she did not do anything wrong.
What is going to happen right from now, especially at the regional headquarters level, right now that counting is going on and it will go into the night?
Yes, we are here. This is going to be the Regional Coalition Center. In fact, you see, because of the rainfall, around after 4 p.m., we all experience rainfall over Ashanti region that has delayed the constituencies from submitting their results on time. But as we are talking, they are all having their coalition exercises. We'll be waiting for them, and we are hopeful that we'll receive all the constituency results before tomorrow. What we'll be doing here is the regional coalition. We are only going to collate the presidential result from the 47 constituencies. If we get the results, we can use less than 1 hour to do that. And after that, we will submit them to head office. So we are waiting for our district officers and returning officers to get their collation done on time for them to bring the summary of results to us so that we can also use that to collate for the region.
Will the rain delay the 24-hour deadline that
we will still achieve that feat because we gave ourselves some room of respite. Because if they do it and bring it, within 1 hour, we will be able to finish. And when we finish, we just have to fax it to head office. So we can still deliver on our promise.
Sir, at Shia, I don't know if it has come to you, the rainfall, I don't know whether it's brought most of the ballots. And they were trying as much as they could to start counting. And in effect, you could see some of the thumbprints being duplicated somehow. And they were also trying, some of the agents were also trying to find whether they could reject those ballots or they could add it to the ones that were possible. And I don't know if that one has come to your notice and what are you doing about it?
You see, what's the essence of rejecting a ballot? You reject a ballot when the intention of the voter cannot be determined. So therefore, if you have seen that genuinely the voter has voted for maybe candidate D, and like we are saying, maybe because of the rain, you could see that the droplets of the rainfall has maybe indicated some mark on the another candidate. You need to give it to the one the voter actually voted for. So this shouldn't be a problem. We don't want to disenfranchise anybody, and we will not disenfranchise anybody because there were those watermarks on somewhere when the thumbprint of that voter clearly shows where the voter indicated his or her mark.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Please, one question. How was the person caught? My name is Prince from Kesby Media. How was the person caught? Was it from the Munchaka or Ali?
How was the person?
Yeah, the one who said.
So this is the Electoral Commission's press conference, and you just had Mr. Benjamin Bano Biu, who is the regional director for the Electoral Commission. And in short, he has been explaining the side of the Electoral Commission concerning some ballot papers that a gentleman tried to stuff into one of the ballot boxes at the Aswasi New Zongo polling station. Now, he has been saying that after examining the ballot papers, he thinks, and the commission thinks, that these papers were not from the Electoral Commission, they were forged.